All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 618. I'm your host, CheapyD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who's live at CES from the Sony PlayStation 5 logo reveal, Wombat.
It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. There was a P. Wait, you're not going to believe it.
Okay, go on.
They showed a P.
No way.
And then they showed an S. And then, wait, no, here's
I can't imagine where it could go from there.
This is where I lost my shit. They showed the 5.
They did it, man.
Yeah, I was there. I was standing next to the most important people in the video game industry.
Hip-hop gamer?
And yeah, I was me and him, and I'm like, they're not going to show the 5. And he's like, I bet you they show the 5. And I go, you know what? I'll put 5 if they don't show the 5. And then they showed the 5, and I had to give them a 5.
And then I got 5 on it, played by the Loonies.
Mm-hmm. It was amazing.
They should definitely use that song for some PlayStation 5 events.
I'm sure they will. What do you think, Mr. Shipwreck?
It was intoxicating.
Yeah. I have a cold, so if I sound like I have a cold, it's because I have a cold.
Your voice is intoxicating.
You have the CES flu?
I have the CES flu. The kind of flu you can only get by reading blips and blurps of it on Twitter from home.
Right. Yes, let's emphasize
That's
that.
all you need to do with
there.
CES, right? Is blips and blurps.
Bloops and blurps. Isn't that all? Yeah. Yep. I've been looking at the Arcade 1-Up news to come out of CES. That seems to be the only
thing
that I find
about that later.
I was going to say, but it's a teaser, I guess, but it's the only thing I've found interesting.
I'm glad that you looked at the outline ahead of time.
I'll quickly delete the rest of these things from the outlines. I find them interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Did everybody have a happy New Year?
Yeah, I had a nice break.
New Year's Eve.
Because, I had no work for about almost a little over a week.
Right.
It was just most of the time just me and the kids. We didn't really go anywhere, but we had a nice time. I think we had a lot of fun. Staycation. Some mini golf was involved. Indoor mini golf.
The kids watching you play Fortnite?
The kids watch it. We'll get to that later. Fortniting was had. Yeah. So we went to the movies, that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Saw family members on Christmas.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I went to
Shipwreck, you?
You didn't see me on Christmas.
No, did you have a nice Christmas?
I did.
Did you have a Merry Christmas? People are saying Merry Christmas now. They weren't saying it before.
They were.
I know it was against the law.
I remember.
Like 2 years ago.
Okay. In that case, I had a Merry Christmas. Yes.
That's good.
Excellent.
Yes. Did you guys have a Merry Hanukkah?
I had a Merry Hanukkah.
Uh-huh.
I actually got a gift.
What'd you get?
Which I got the Keurig Duo coffee maker.
Ooh, did it make two cups at the same time?
It makes you can either make a cup, use the pod to make a single cup, and it also has like a regular coffee maker attached to it, so you can make a pot of coffee.
Oh.
So, and on weekends when my wife and I are on the same morning schedule, it's nice to make a big pot of coffee for the two of us. So it kind of worked out. It was a very nice gift, and I never get anything, so I was very excited to open a box.
Sure.
Before people yell at you for using a Keurig, have you tried? We have the kind now that have it's little reusable Keurig cups.
I have one of those refillable Keurig cups.
Yeah, it's silicone and mesh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mine is plastic. It's not silicone, but yes, I have two of those actually. Two. One's red and one's black. Why they're two different colors, I do not know, but I've had them for a very long time.
Ours are purple.
Well, aren't you special?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Those work pretty well though. Yeah. I prefer to do that than throwing away
a coffee pot every day.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the mood you get, man. I also like the ones, I think the chock full of nuts coffee pods, which are like the environmentally friendly ones that are not in plastic cups. They're kind of like almost like a paper mesh underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are those.
Are you saying you have two Keurig machines?
No, now I only have one. I have one. The other one we just put in storage.
In case the
I have
new one breaks?
I have two.
In case this new one breaks,
machines.
yes. Yeah, why am I not allowed? No, I had the single cup maker for a long time, but we got the other one because we wanted to be able to make a big pot of coffee on the weekends for us to share.
Delicious.
Yeah.
I've got an
Wow.
upstairs one and a downstairs one.
See?
You don't have it upstairs or downstairs.
No, I don't. Shipwreck
Right,
does.
Shipwreck lives in a mansion.
Yeah, I know.
You could fit your entire house in Shipwreck's basement.
Probably. Well, now that I feel worse about myself, how was your week?
It was.
That's not the intent. What was that?
I got 3 Keurig machines for Hanukkah.
There you go. Now
Just to
you can
just to
feel
be
bad
king
about
of
yourself,
Keurig.
Wombat.
Didn't you go away?
I recovered from my kidney stone just in time to go to Jamaica to our plant.
Can you go back?
I wish. It was pretty nice.
I bet.
How was the crushing poverty?
Not so much crushing poverty, because the key is you've got to stay sort of near the airport, because that limits your travel.
The key is you just have to not look at the people.
No. You limit your travel through the country, and then that way, just statistically speaking, you're going to see less poverty. If you're only traveling 25 minutes as opposed to an hour and a half, it's a numbers game. But the resort was very nice, and the people were very nice. They definitely want you to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that got us our taxi at the airport worked at a restaurant in the town next to mine. He asked me where I was from. It was pretty funny. But I got the RoboCop limited edition for Hanukkah. Blu-ray.
Nice.
Oh, the Blu-ray. Okay.
Yeah, it's got some postcards inside and a stick.
Is that a steel book?
It's not a steelbook, but it's got a booklet inside. It's got like a book inside and 2 discs, like a lot of content. A lot of printed content and video content.
Gotcha. I got the complete series run of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe for Christmas.
Nice.
If you want to come over and watch 2 days worth of He-Man.
You can
I'm
make that happen.
good. I'm good.
Right.
I also picked up 5 seasons of Pee-wee's Playhouse for $4 today.
Where are you putting all this stuff?
What do you
They're
mean?
just discs. It's not like
Where am I
it's not
putting
like they
it?
take up so much space.
No, but Shipwreck is posting, he's making these like last week you bought 20 Blu-rays.
33.
33. Okay. So that's not nothing. And that was just one day, right?
It's not. That is probably the first day in my life that I've bought 33 Blu-rays.
I understand that. But how many Blu-rays would you say you bought in the last...
And for those playing at home, the Blu-rays were $3 each.
Right. The point is, I'd say that you've bought a lot of Blu-rays. In the last year, you've bought over 100 Blu-rays easily.
Probably not. I've probably bought around, I don't know, maybe 60 or 70 Blu-rays, not 100.
Right.
You have to remember my taste in movies is Disney.
But so you don't even need to buy that stuff. You're going to subscribe to their thing anyway, and
He already does.
I know.
It's not going to. It's
Right.
I like having the physical copies of them as well.
I guess you do.
If I walk into a thrift store
Right.
and I see 4K and 3D versions of Disney movies for $3 a pop,
Right.
I'm picking them up.
We're just jealous that we live in New York, so we never see shit like that. Those deals just don't pop up.
I'll hook you up with my Plex server. You can.
No, I don't need
You can
to because I have
subscribe to my
Disney
Plex
Plus, so
server.
I can just watch them on
Disney Plus doesn't have Pee-wee's Playhouse or He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
That's fine. I lived through He-Man, Masters of the Universe. I don't need to revisit that.
I feel like that doesn't hold up very well.
It probably doesn't, but since my kids are so into Thundercats, which admittedly Thundercats holds up really well.
It had a much more interesting aesthetic. I remember it was like pretty much like anime.
It just the storylines in general too are a lot more evolved in Thundercats. But my kids both like the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special. So I'm like, once we finish off this run of Thundercats, then maybe He-Man it is.
Sounds like a good plan.
Can't have too much He-Man.
No, never.
You can't. It's been a while since I've watched too many of them as well.
Right.
So
I would watch an episode of He-Man.
Yeah, but I think that would be your limit. Would be one episode
Right.
of
The
He-Man.
one with Ram Man for sure.
Yeah.
You'd have to be in it.
As little Orko as possible.
what?
Orcos, no. Orco's the heart.
Yeah, as little
Ram
Orco
Man
as
and
possible.
You're not an Orco guy?
I'm not an Orco guy.
How can you be anti-Orco? Who grew up anti-Orco?
Me.
He was nice. And what about Snarf? You must like Snarf, surely.
Snarf.
Snarf was good.
Mm-hmm. Snarf was fine.
Don't tell me you're a
Orco?
Snarf hater.
No, I just don't trust anyone who doesn't show their face.
Right. He was that was the mystique to him. And his, you didn't know, like, he was like he had magic, but he was a goofball, so he had the potential.
He was bad at it.
Right. He
Yeah.
was bad.
He was bad at magic and didn't show his face. No,
But he
it's
had the
perfect.
potential to be powerful. Like but he was just a goofball.
Yep.
Like you.
Right.
Like me, I'm the Orco of this podcast.
You show your face proudly.
Sometimes.
That's
Do you remember what Snarf's real name was?
Snarfalopagus.
Osbert.
Really?
Yep.
And Snarf is short for Osbert or something?
No, Snarf is the name of that creature.
Oh, so they just called him Snarf?
They called him Snarf, and then like they meet up with Snarf's nephew at some point, and then his nephew,
Right. He calls him Uncle Osbert.
Uncle Osbert.
And then they find out it's his name. What was his reasoning for never correcting them? His friends.
He doesn't like being called Osbert.
He just liked being called his species name instead.
Snarf. Yeah,
That makes
I guess
that's weird.
I can relate. I prefer to be called human.
Right. Half-Life 3 vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. All right. Well, should we do some show feedback? Are we done talking about our breaks?
Sure. I think so.
Oh, I got a note from my doctor saying that they got the sonogram results back, and no more stone.
Excellent.
Good work.
Thank you. Pissed it right out. Oh.
Yeah. Got to get it out. I moved away from the mic, though.
It's good. It's good.
Gross. Yeah. Hassle Smack has to say, "Hey guys, the comment section is a damn wasteland. I've been listening to the CAGcast for over 10 years and thought I should thank you for the podcast. I have brought you guys with me all over the world, from my home in Albany to Japan and Taiwan for university and grad school. I've always been able to keep a pulse on the industry because of the CAGcast. I can rely on it for some weekly laughs, and when I felt like I needed a dose of some natural English conversation, I could turn you guys on and feel like I was back at home with some old friends."
Nice.
It's very
That
nice.
was lovely.
It's very nice. Yeah, and in a similar sentiment from E2 Jedi, been listening since the beginning, and this is one of the few podcasts that I still listen to. Checking in with you all once a week is a constant in my life, and I never tire of hearing of your lives.
We got to work on that.
Yep. I know.
We can wear them down.
We need to.
I think.
I mean, these people like our show so much, you think it'd be more popular.
No.
No.
I think it's just the right amount of popular.
Is it just the right amount? Yeah. You would say that.
I catch Ty listening to Adventure Zone now all the time.
Is that like a bad
No,
thing?
I mean, it's a bad thing if he's supposed to be doing his homework.
Okay, but there's nothing wrong with him listening to the show.
It's expanding his vocabulary in all different directions.
Nice. Well, that's bound to happen eventually.
He's smart, though, because he doesn't curse in front of me, and he will ask me, like, what's some of the bigger words that are not curses. What does that mean? And I'm like, oh, you learned that? Where'd you learn that? Adventure Zone.
All kids know curse words. Very few curse in front of their parents.
Right, well, that's fine. That's good.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying that's kind of, just normal.
Right. I curse in front of him all the
Fair,
time.
fair.
I can't help it.
Yes, you do what you got to
I
do.
can't. Yeah. I feel like it drives the point home if a
understand.
well-placed curse.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure he knows I'm serious.
Yeah, make sure he knows that you know what you know.
How to curse in an effective way.
Exactly.